Alright, now when we divide fractions, it's very similar to multiplication. If I was going to take, say, 4 divided by 5 divided by, or 4 over 5 divided by 3 over 2, that would be the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. In other words, take and leave your first fraction by itself, leave it alone, and flip the other one and multiply. So that's actually 2 over 3, or the same as multiplying by 2 over 3. If I do that, that makes division problems with rational expressions much simpler. So I'm going to clear everything off and we'll approach this problem here. And as I pointed out in that fraction example, this is the same as leaving the first fraction alone and multiplying by the reciprocal. So the reciprocal of this just means flip it. So I'm going to multiply by x squared minus 11x plus 30 divided by x squared minus 6x. And remember, I'm multiplying fractions, so I can basically just connect those fraction bars. Let's kind of move everything down here. So this is going to be equal to, we'll leave the first thing on top there alone. I can actually factor that 2x minus 10. I can take a 2 out of each term. So that's going to be the same as 2 times x minus 5. Right? And then we'll kind of extend the fraction bar here. And on top, I want to factor the x squared minus 11x plus 30. And so that's going to factor into x minus 6 minus 5 is how that's going to factor. And then in this last term here, this last expression here, this x squared minus 6, I can take an x out of each term. So I'm going to take an x out, and it's going to be x times x minus 6. Okay? You might want to watch that part again because it happened kind of fast, but now everything's completely factored. I can start canceling things out. So let's cancel out the x's. There's one x on the top and the bottom. Let's cancel out the x minus 6's and the x minus 5's. And if I do that, I'm actually only left with 7 over 2. So that entire mess that we started with actually simplifies to be just the number 7 over 2. Alright, definitely worth watching that one again, probably to see where all that factoring happened. If you're still confused about the factoring, you might go back and watch the video on how to factor. Might be a good refresher. Okay. Last example here. Remember, division is the same as multiplying as long as we multiply by the reciprocal. So I'm going to first write the reciprocal, rewrite this as a multiplication problem. So leave the first term alone, 6x squared plus x minus 15 divided by 4x squared. Multiply by the reciprocal. Well, usually we don't write this, but we could write that as over 1. And the reciprocal of that is 1 over 3x squared plus 5x. 3x squared plus 5x. Okay. And so now I've got a multiplication problem. I'm going to once again move down here. So I've got more space, but I've got a multiplication problem, and so I'm going to start factoring everything and trying to cancel stuff out. So on top, I've got 6x squared plus x minus 15. That's going to factor into 3x and 2x. And then 15, let's see, 3 and 5 is the factors of that. So I'll put those there. And then I've got to have a plus. So I think I've got a plus 5 and a minus 3. And let's check. 3x times 2x is 6x. Negative 9 plus 10x gives me the positive, and then negative 15. Okay, so I think that's how that factors. You can use your calculator to factor that too if that would help you. We can talk about how to do that in class. The bottom, 4x squared, is as factored as I can get. And then that 3x squared plus 5x, I can factor out an x from that expression. So I'm going to multiply this by, x times x plus 5. Okay. Oh, excuse me. That should be 3x plus 5. Okay. And that's exactly what I wanted to happen, because now some good things are going to cancel out. 3x plus 5 is going to cancel here. 3x plus 5 is going to cancel out there. And I'll rewrite this. The top I will leave alone, 2x minus 3, divided by the bottom, which is going to be 4x squared times x, 4x cubed. Okay, and that's as simple as I can get it. Remember that 2x minus 3 is being subtracted, so I can't cancel out the 2 and the 4 because on top, it's all those two terms are being subtracted. The 2x and the 3 are not being multiplied. So that's definitely a video, especially that last one and the one right before it might be worth watching again. Otherwise, that's it for multiplying and dividing rational expressions.